Hey Bob, we're back and we're playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, but we moved to a ranking video. Yes, the next arc, you could say, of the videos I'm doing for Battlefront 2 are ranking videos. The first one of these are going to be the ranking every hero and villain in Star Wars Battlefront 2 in the trooper modes. This is Galactic Assault, Supremacy, Co-op, and Custom Arcade, which I'm pretty sure I'm the one that actually plays Custom Arcade, but the Trooper game modes, that's what I'm ranking them off of. I may do a hero, hero versus villains one, if you guys want me to, if you hit that like button and subscribe, and I want to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. Basically that's what I'm going to be doing, based off of, how I rank them. It's going to get into 4 categories, and I'll explain it further in the video when I get to that next category. So that's how I did it, but I did rank like numbers, like all the way from number 1 to number 22. I ranked all of them. I played them all to just see if I would move some up or down, which I did. So my list is not the correct list. Feel free to share your list down below in the comments, because I know we're going to disagree. We all have our different favorite heroes to play, and so, yeah, let's just get on to number 22. Coming in first place, we got BB90. No, I'm kidding, he's dead last. Reason why is because he just is. I think what happened is that the developers saw that people were arguing about whether or not, who's the worst hero in Battlefront 2, and they decided, you know what, let's just make a hero just to make him the worst, just so people will stop talking about it. He is the definitive worst. Not to say he's bad. I mean, you do really well with him. And, like in co-op, he's really good. Supremacy is good. Galactic Assault, you know, iffy. But every other hero outmatches him. And I want to feel that, see good in every hero in this game. And BB90 is he's not very good. He's actually just good. And, yeah, he's just below average to me. I mean, there's nothing much to it. His smoke screen's really annoying. He's an annoying hero. You know, all of his abilities are just annoying. And he's just more of an annoyance. I've only fought like one pro BB90 player, and he was just the most annoyingest person ever. So I don't think you need to be good with him, but you can be very annoying with him, and I think that's worse. But you don't really see many people choosing BB90, except it's like if it's in Supremacy or co-op, because there's only 3 other heroes besides BB90 in that era, so you see him more there, but in the bigger game modes, you don't really see him, and it's a good reason, because he is just gonna die to everyone else, including reinforcements and troopers. It's just, if you want to just roll around the map, then you have to go for it, but he's just dead last. Coming in at number 21 is Chewbacca. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Chewbacca used to 3-shot Darth Vader. Now he can barely even kill any villain. He's just to me at least, I can't really play him that well. Prior to his change, because if you didn't know, Chewbacca had a change to his bowcaster. I actually liked what was prior, because I used it like a shotgun, and I actually did pretty well. Then they changed it, and it's like, I don't like it. But I got used to it. His secondary fire, like if you hold down, you know, he creates an explosion. I wish that one-shot troopers, but it doesn't, which it looked like it should, but it doesn't. I don't know why. But Chewbacca, to me, I just can't use him that well. I always die. It's just, even with the star cards maxed out, I just can't do well. I eventually am going to die. Unless I just play it very, very defensively, just play it from far away. To me, I like playing Chewbacca once in a while, but not as much as the heroes above him. Though he's in 21st, I don't want to place him here, but I kind of have to, because gameplay-wise, he's not that good to play, but I know there's people that do like playing him, and, you know, who are pros. I just can't get hang of him as well as other people can. Coming in 20th place is Captain Phasma. Now, she is good when she's next to her turret, and that's kind of the main reason why she's at this place, is because without her turret, she's pretty much just a sitting duck waiting for a lightsaber hero to just come in and just insta-kill her. And That's kind of the main problem. Now, her stab strikes are pretty good, especially on PC, because on Xbox or on console. Her stab strikes, trying to do it doesn't really work. It's kind of difficult to pull off. On PC, the way I have set, I have buttons on my mouse. I can just press the button and it like goes really well. And I actually do really well with the stab strikes on PC rather than on console. That's a good ability. On PC, her survivalist ability is really good if you have the more health and damage reduction star cards on for that ability, which makes it really good, and you can actually survive more with Phasma. But like I said, without the turret nearby or around her, she's pretty much just saying duck, and you pretty much need that turret in order to like eliminate enemy heroes, pretty much. So she can't do it by herself. So just that's why I have her ranked here, which I think is pretty fair. So in 19th place, we have Bosk. Now, I know you're going to be saying, it's such a weird place, why is he this low? Honestly, it's because I didn't realize until I was making this list that Bosk has really good abilities. Like, all three of his abilities are really good. His gas is good, his grenades are good, his predator instincts is good. All three of them together are fantastic, but the problem with Bosk is that his main blaster is a sniper, and I do not like using snipers. Even on PC where it's very easier to aim, I just don't like using it. I don't like using the sniper class, and it doesn't mean I don't like using Bosk. I think Bosk is really fun to use. I just get more eliminations with his abilities rather than his main blaster. That's kind of the downside, is that he has a blaster that is a sniper, and it doesn't one-shot unless you wait for this thing to scope in. Like, you can't spam it. Even if you have someone like you can easily eliminate, it'll take like 3 or 4 shots, and it's really just ineffective. So using his abilities are the best way to go, and that's why Bosk is at 19th. I mean, I didn't expect him to be in this place. It's just that because he's really he's the most balanced hero in this game, and he's this low. Like, it's just weird. I thought he would have been placed higher, but he wasn't. So I'm surprised by that as well. It's just that other heroes are better than him. So yeah. Coming in 18th place, we have Finn. Now, I remember back in the day when the game first came out, the first couple of months I played the game, Finn was just very bad. And he was one of the 4 worst heroes in the game. But once they had added in that health on kill and just onto every hero except for Bosk, Finn became very good. Because you can put all 3 Deadeye star cards on, you just wreck. You just create hell for the enemy team. Because he is just so good with his Deadeye. And that even without it, he's still pretty good. He can actually move freely with his middle ability, his big deal. And his third ability, which I forget the name of, things like resistance cover, is actually pretty good for extra fire. Finn has all 3 abilities that are blasters, which is actually kind of overpowered. Because you can just keep on raining fire and bullets down, or blaster bolts down on your enemies, which is really good to create more pressure on the enemy. Overall, Finn's very good in the last phases of Galactic Assault, which are closed in, because you can just pop big deal and everyone has more health. And it makes it really difficult for the enemy team to literally win. I believe if you were to go into the last phase in the Boo, and if Finn's there, you still lost. So Finn's really good as a supportive character. But in terms of being an actual, one-on-one with other enemies reinforcements, he can pretty much go down really fast. He can't be surrounded or else he'll just die. And definitely goes for every other hero on this list. So from 18 to 22, I have below average. That ranking. So I have 3 other rankings, but this one's below average. They're not bad, and they're just below average. So in 17th place, we got Aiden Versio. Now, Aiden is the first in the average. Because Aiden is very average. Basically, her abilities are good. Her middle ability is just don't use. It's just only good if you're, sniping. But only use in certain phases. I used it in the last phase of Jabba's Palace and co-op, which is really good. I managed to get, 24 kills with the sniper in that last phase. It's pretty good in that phase. But I don't use it in any other game unless it's, temporarily, because no one wants tonight, and that's on the back of the map sniper. Well, that's not what you want. But her stun, droid, and shield are the best, too. And those are very good. Eliminating heroes, getting those headshots in when they're stunned, that's very overpowered. The reason she's at 17th is because of her health. She is very fragile. I don't know why, but it seems like she takes a lot more damage than other heroes. I don't know why other people have been singing that as well. I don't know why. And with other heroes that have the same health pool, she just dies more quickly, and you have to be very careful. Which that's the reason why she's down here, because she's average, her health is average. You know, she can't take that much damage, and she dies. That's why she's at number 17. Coming in at 16th place, we got BB-8. Now, BB-8 is very fun. I must say, he is very, very fun. And he can actually just shred, and he's absolutely dominate in game modes like co-op. In the background footage, I'm hoping that I add in the clip where I just eliminate everyone in the second phase of the MC-85 Cruiser map. That's where he shines. Those phases where it's just one command post, and it's just incredible. He's very good in that game mode in co-op. That goes with every other trooper game, because Cable Spin just eliminates everyone, even enemy heroes. But the problem with Cable Spin, that can be cancelled out by pretty much everything. Every stun force ability can just be cancelled out. But he has high damage output, but he dies very quickly. Even though he is small, he can still get, you know, killed very easily by Darth Vader or Palpatine or Kylo Ren. So he's good, but he's just average. Like I said, with same with Iden, he can die very quickly if he gets surrounded and if he gets stuck. And so that's something to keep out when you're playing him. But for his ability, he's very aggressive. He's a lot better than BB-9E, and he's very fun. I like using him, and that's all I gotta say for him. Number 15, we got Lando. He is he's a pretty like I would say just average in terms of just his abilities and his health and his playstyle in general, because his only good ability is his sharp shot and his stun grenade. But the problem is that if you don't have those abilities equipped, he's pretty much average. He can't defend himself without those two abilities, and if you avoid his stun, you're pretty much good to just kill him. I mean, I played other lightsaber heroes in, you know, co-op or whatever, and he's managed to just kill Lando very easily. He's not a hero that's like that difficult to take down once you get up close. When you're far away, he's very dangerous. But if he doesn't have his sharp shot or stun, he's very just easily defeated. And it's more, it takes skill to avoid damage and to always have those abilities equipped, because if you don't have them, you get a sitting duck. So that's why he's at number 15. Coming in number 14, the first lightsaber user, which is Count Dooku. Now, while I was making this list, I decided who is the worst lightsaber hero in Trooper game modes. And I had two in mind, but I played both of them and I realized that Dooku comes in at 14th, the first lightsaber hero in this list, because he is good in the hero game modes. But in terms of troopers, he isn't. And when I actually played him, I actually was struggling a little bit. And that's something I didn't really have with the other lightsaber heroes. So that's why I kind of put him here, because his dual ability is good, his lightning stun is good, but you have to be really close to it, which is kind of the problem. Doesn't really have much range, and his weakling, his weakness ability, only works if it's with enemy heroes, because with troopers, and what's the point, because you pretty much one-shot troopers either way if you hit again from behind, so it's no real point of that ability. You're just wasting, you know, time with your animation. So there is one ability that's kind of useless in trooper game modes. Duelist is good if they're a bunch of people in, you know, crowd areas, but when you're in like Supremacy, you're not gonna have people grouped up on the, you know, ground phase. It's more in a capital ship. So Dooku isn't bad. It's just that he's more suited for the heroes, not really the troopers and reinforcements. And you can pretty much die very quickly with you know, you get one Wookiee warrior to just headshot him a bunch of times, and you can't do anything about it because he needs to get up close in order to do something, which he can't always do if there's ranged troopers just shooting him. Coming in number 13, we have Yoda, and he comes in next after Dooku, because he is, to me, very good in terms of abilities. He has presence, which gives him bonus health. He has his force push, which he can charge up, and you have dash strike. The only problem with Yoda is that he has a 1 second swing animation, which is really annoying. And I was grinding Yoda to get the emotes. One thing I found very annoying was his swing speed. If you missed, you would just expose yourself, and you don't really have that much, you know, damage reduction, so you just get shot at. And my god, the ISB agents just love to just hit you with your blast in co-op, and you just lose so much health. It's very annoying. And it's one of those things where it's like, you know, they dodge. Someone dodges a second you swing, you just miss. It's like, it's just wasting time. You're just in the air for like a second. And his swing speed is very slow, which I don't like. That's why he's number 13, because like, he's good when it comes to crowd control with his force push and his presence ability. He gives other people health as well. But in terms of him attacking and being really offensive, you can't be too offensive because then you'll die then. So it's like, you can't be really that aggressive, but at the same time you kind of have to, because what else does Zero have if he doesn't have his force push? He has a dash strike, but it doesn't eliminate anyone. It's kind of a finisher because you have to swing first. And it's one of the things you always have to watch out for, but when I play a game, I don't want to watch out for anything. I just want to swing a lightsaber and make sure it hits him, but it doesn't because his swing speed is so slow. That's why he's at number 13. Number 12, we got Boba Fett. Now, Boba Fett is... I'm surprised Boba Fett's even on this high up, but he is so much better on PC than he is on the console. Like, seriously, I cannot aim for him. I cannot aim at all when playing on console. On PC, I was level 2 with him, and I was managed to get like a 5-kill streak on like Heroes vs. Villains. Like, I was like, oh my god, he's so good, and you try him in the Trooper game modes, and he's so good in the Trooper game modes. His jetpack's very good for just flying away and just evading any targets that may be damaging him. His rockets are okay. I mean, he did get a nerf, which I don't understand why he did, but a lot of his star cards are kind of useless, which kind of makes him, like, you don't really need star cards to play Boba Fett. I mean, you kind of do, but, like, for his playstyle, but you don't really need it, because his base playstyle is just flying away, flying, you know, concussing people with his missiles, rockets. He has 400, which temporarily gives him unlimited fuel, which is nice. And Boba Fett is really good to play in Trooper game modes, because you can just be on these high platforms, just shoot, and you know, aiming is everything, and on PC it's so much more easier to aim. I don't know what people are talking about when they're like, oh, he's either on Xbox, because I played Xbox for a couple years, and you know, I got good with him on the aiming there on Xbox, but on PC I'm just instantly good, because he's so much more easier to play on PC, and Boba Fett's a PC hero. You know, you have to play on PC in order to do good. That's why he's at number 12. At number 11, we got Darth Maul. Now, I was gonna put him higher, but I realized Maul is a glass cannon. Because he deals a lot of damage very quickly, but he can't take that damage. He's very weak, but at the same time strong, in terms of offense. In terms of defense, he doesn't have that much defense. He only has his chokehold, which his chokehold is good, but it's only good if they're like low in health or like you want to get away to regenerate health. So Maul has like 700 health, and that can easily go down with one Wookiee warrior. My god, they're so overpowered. Like, they just hit you. You can't block their shots because it goes through the blocks, and you just lose half your health. So you have to be quick with dealing with them. I have star cards on because I grinded Maul to get all the emotes and victory poses. He's very, very good in terms of offense. That's why he's 11th. But in terms of receiving damage, you have to be very careful with him. Always be on the move. If you're not, then you're just gonna die, and it's just really infuriating because you can't do anything about it because he gets 700 health and he loses like half his health and very, very quickly. And it's just very annoying to deal with, but in terms of his abilities, they're very great. So, with that being said, he's 11th place. He would be a bit higher, but, you know, grinding him out and actually playing for a very long time, I realized that he's not as good as I once remembered him. Which is probably because I play custom arcade a lot. So, you know, take that as what you want, but actually playing him in real game modes, yeah, he's pretty much at 11th place. I'm happy where he's at. So, from Darth Maul to all the way to Iden, that was actually the average, part of the ranking. So you had below average, now you have average. These heroes are good. They're just in the average, you know, goodish. You know, your normal heroes to play. Nothing too special here. So the next category we're going to go into with these next 5 heroes are the good. Making it to the top 10, we have Rey. Now, I remember back in the day, when people did rankings back in 2018, Rey was like in the top 3. Like, she was like 3rd place but now she has fallen to 10th. That's not to say that Rey has gone worse, since that every other hero above her has gone better. It really shows how the game has changed. So, Rey is really good in terms of her abilities. She can dash strike, which, if you have a star on, like, one-shots troopers, which is really overpowered. She can basically mind trick people, which, to this day, I find hilarious that you can actually knock people off ledges still, which I managed to do that, and it's hilarious. And kind of sad, but, like, new players are on, makes sense. Then you have her insight ability, which is pretty overpowered since you can, not only yourself, but other people can actually see where the enemies are going to be, so you can actually plan your attack. And you can increase the range of this, increase the time, so you can really have insight for a very long time. Not only that, you actually get more stamina when you use, like, you can swing more when you have insight active. So overall, Rey is really good. She actually has, the one thing that makes her in 10th place above the rest of the lightsaber users is that her lunge is very different from others. I don't know why, but she can actually hit people from farther away, and it's really weird. I think something that the developers just put in launch the game, and they never changed it, which is a good thing because I think Rey is kind of good. I mean, if she didn't have her lunge that far, I think she would be down a place or two, but yeah, Rey is really good because of her lunge. How she can, range attack. So that's pretty good for her to do that. On at number 9, we have Han Solo. One of my favorite characters in all Star Wars. He's number 9. He is very, very, very good at one-shotting troopers if you hit him in the head. He one-shots all troopers except the heavy. And basically his DL-44 blaster is very overpowered if you hit those headshots. Even if you don't, it's still very good. But his grenade is where it shines. If you throw it into a group of enemies, they're all dead. No shot is surviving, and so that's why Han Solo's been the best. I feel use him for years now. Even prior to him getting health on kill. Because Han was not the best until he got his health on kill, which made him a bit easier to, get his health back, because, he only has like 600 health or 650 health. So he can die very easily, which is a downside. But now that he has health on kill, he can get his health back from afar, and it's really good. His shoulder charge is good if you are in close range or want to escape an area. I use it to travel a bit faster, because I used to do. And his sharp shot's good for dealing really, really quick damage to enemies if you're not good at aiming, or you just want to deal quick damage to an enemy villain. So Han is very, very good, and he was the best blaster hero until another hero came in. The developers decided to give this hero a buff that completely changed this character. So Han was the best, but someone outclassed him. And yeah, Han's number 9. He's just safe at number 9. And let's go on to the next rank. So coming in 8th place as the best blaster hero in all of Star Wars Battlefront 2 is Princess Leia. The reason why is because she can reduce a lot more damage very quickly, better than Han. And overnight, Leia went from being one of the worst heroes in Battlefront 2 to being the best blaster hero in Battlefront 2. And it's because they changed her flash grenade to 3 thermal grenades. But not only that, but she can also heal herself using her squad shield. Not only healing herself, but actually healing everyone on her side, all of her teammates. And her E11 blaster is the just destroyer. Any villains are just going to get obliterated if they don't block. And she's very good. I use her a lot because she's just that good. I like using Princess Leia in this game because she's very overpowered. And I'm glad that she got what she deserved, because for the longest time she was just very weak. I remember I would fire my blaster, and any enemy villain that was there would just know where I am and just start obliterating me and just defeated me very quickly. But now, Leia has a fighting chance, and she can actually win 1v1s against enemy villains. So she is very good, and she deserves to be the best blaster hero. Sorry, Han, I know I like using you a lot, and as my main blaster hero, but things change, times have changed, and now Leia is the main blaster hero I use. Sorry, Han, you're second, and I like you both equally. How about that? But yeah, Leia is the best blaster hero in Battlefront 2. Number 7 is the Master of Hello There, which is Obi-Wan Kenobi. I had a hard time choosing this and the one above. I'll talk about it in a little bit, but Obi-Wan is the best at defensive. He can just, like, not attack and still manage to defeat. He can, like, defeat 4 heavies before running out of stamina, like 4 to 5 heavies, which is insane. But also, defensive-wise and offensive, he's great at both. Like, I mean, better at defensive, but better at defense, but offense, he's still really good at it as well. Like, I went on a 100 kill streak. I always go, like, whenever I play him in co-op, I get 100 kills. Very easily. Even before I grinded to get the emotes and, victory pose, I managed to get 100 kills without using the loadout, which is recommended for Obi-Wan, which his loadout, his V loadout is very good. Because Obi-Wan's, his base attacks can be a bit slow, especially if you miss. He's a bit slower than the other lightsaber users, mainly because he's a bit older, you know, he needs more time to get there. He's not young, you could say. He's like in his 30s, you know, he's old. So he's a bit slower, so some of his attacks can be slow. So that's why getting, you know, that defensive Russian with that star card really makes a difference. And he's one of the best characters for defense, which is really good, which leaving him at 7th place is really good. Coming in at number 6 is the Chosen One, Anakin Skywalker. Like I said, it was a hard decision to put Obi-Wan above Anakin or Anakin below Obi-Wan. I decided to put Anakin above Obi-Wan because Anakin is very good at dealing damage, but all of his abilities are really good, and he's meant for noobs, and they made him very easy to, you know, play. The leaving at 6th place is pretty good because he's not overpowered. When Anakin first launched, he was really broken. I would say he's more overpowered than, like, the mechs in Fortnite. If you played Fortnite in Season 10, or Season X, you know, the mechs, say they're very overpowered. I think Anakin's more overpowered than that. He literally one-shot every villain with a press of a button. Like, it was insane. And, I like most of the nerfs that he had, except the one where they decreased his base health, or a star card, so he'd get up to 1,000 health, but now he can look at 900, which I think he needs 1,000 health, honestly, because, I think he does need it, but that's just my opinion. So I do manage to die with Anakin a lot. Well, sometimes. So, but he's very good at dealing damage, and I can't deny the fact that he is the master at ability combos. Like, he literally, any combo just works. And it's very annoying. If you're on the other end, you're just gonna either be killed, or you're gonna lose a lot of health if you're an enemy villain, which is very annoying. There's not much you can really do. So from number 10 to number 6, that was the good category. They're pretty much you're gonna do well with them, no matter what. You may die once, maybe twice, when you play them, occasionally, in the trooper game modes if you know what you're doing. So they're good, in my opinion. So going on to the next tier, which is actually great to God level, so just keep that in mind, it goes from great to God level. So in our top 5, coming in number 5, we have Kylo Ren, and people kind of sleep on Kylo Ren. Other people don't, some people do. He has the strengths of Vader and the speed of Maul. Combine that together and you have this unstoppable monster that can literally one-shot, obliterate enemy villains, and obliterate troopers. Like, he is so good at just crowd control. He can literally pull in enemies, freeze them, and then use his frenzy to just obliterate them. And even that, his freeze is the most overpowered ability in the game, not because it deals damage, but because you are standing still in a battle with like 40 people that can shoot you down, and that can really end you if you're the enemy villain, or enemy hero, which is annoying, which makes him so overpowered. But one thing that makes Kylo Ren kind of like his downside is his stamina. You can't block blast bolts that well, but in terms of his offensive stamina, it is good. He is a really offensive villain, and you should play him like that. And in terms of fighting troopers, he's really good at doing that. So he comes in at number 5. Number 4, we have Papa Palpatine. He is at number 4. And you may be a bit surprised by that, but I'll explain why when I get to the higher heroes above him. So Palpatine basically has lightning, and he can pretty much fight any enemy hero. He can fight any reinforcement trooper from a range. His lightning is really good, especially if you hold both buttons down. His Dark Aura is great for stopping health regeneration. He has Chain Lightning, which is the most overpowered ability in the game. Going into a crowded hallway and pressing that, you'll get so many multi-kills with that. His Shock, you don't really use that much, but it is useful if you want to stop a reinforcement or a enemy hero from, advancing on you. Just stop them and you can just dash away. And Palpatine has one of the highest jumps in the game and also the best dash in the game. Since he is the Master Sith Lord himself, he is probably the best at, mobility. Coming in at top 3, number 3 is General Grievous. Basically, Grievous is like Palpatine except he can block. Even though he can't block for that long, he can still block. His main ability is his Claw Rush. That's what it is, Claw Rush. It is the most overpowered ability. I keep saying that. It's one of the best. If you put the star card on that, one-shots everyone except heavies. Pretty much is another ability that has his Thrust Surge, which is really good at closing gaps. And his Unrelenting Advance is great if you're in a hallway, because there's nowhere that the enemy can really run to. So they're pretty much screwed if you're in a hallway, because you can't go left or right. You have to go straight, and Grievous is there with his 4 lightsabers. You can't deal damage to him unless you're from the back. So they're pretty much screwed there. Plus, he has like 800 health or whatever. Like, he has a lot of health. Like, he is very good at killing troopers. I think he's the best at eliminating troopers. But that does not mean he's the best hero in Battlefront 2. Coming in at number 2, we got Luke Skywalker. The son of the Chosen One. He is great because all of his abilities work together. He is very fast, very mobile. He has really, really quick health regeneration. Like, you lose health, it comes back in like a second. That is very useful to stay always on your toes. And his Force Push is great. Use it while jumping. His Repulse is great for finishing off enemies. His Dash Strikes are great for closing the gap. Using all 3 together is insane. Luke Skywalker is literally one of the best. He's the best light side hero in the game. And no wonder everyone does great with him. I do great with him. Literally, you can't do wrong with him. He's the greatest lightsaber hero on the light side there is. So that's why he's at number 2. It's not really much to say, because he is pretty much very basic, but everything combined makes him the greatest in this game. But here we are at number 1. We have the Chosen One, the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Vader. He is the tankiest hero in the game. He literally is unstoppable. He can 4v1 enemy heroes and just obliterate them. I'm just lost for words of how overpowered he is and how DICE keeps, buffing him. They kept buffing him. He didn't need to be buffed, and he just kept doing it. It was very overpowered. Literally, when I got my PC, the one thing that I noticed is that in the chat, a lot of people say, oh, Darth Vader's too overpowered, DICE needs to nerf him. Like, Darth Vader's too overpowered, nerf Darth Vader. And it really shows how overpowered he is, because he can force choke you while blocking other blaster bolts, so he can't take damage from the front while you're being choked, and he can also attack you while choking you. He has a health buff that he can use called Focus Rage, which gives him 200 more health, so he can basically get over 1,000 health. His lightsaber throw, you pretty much can't avoid it, because you always get hit either from the front or when it comes back to him. Literally, everything about him is great. He has the most health in the game. He has one of the most health in the game. He is the tankiest. The only downside I can ever think that Vader has is that he is slow. But if he was any more quicker or faster, he would just be too overpowered. So he is god level in this game, which is insane, because he's always been the greatest for a long time. The only time you can argue that he wasn't at number 1 was when General Grievous had his Claw Rush, just making it so he can just keep hitting enemies over and over again with the Claw Rush, but DICE nerfed that, so now Vader's back at number 1. So, he's at number 1. What can I say? You kind of saw it coming. Every hero list I've seen, Darth Vader's number 1, and of course he is. So that's my list. Did you expect number 1 to be Vader? Yeah, I kind of expected that you did. But that's my list for all the heroes and villains. Like I said, my list isn't the correct list, so comment down below your list. We're going to disagree on heroes and villains. I know, everyone's technically good in Super Game Mode, so we may have a different. If you think BB-90 should be #1, then my god, just that's your opinion, and your opinion is wrong, but like I'm glad that you have that opinion, because one, why and how is he #1, but later, hit the like button and subscribe. I'm gonna go now, so goodbye everyone.